Tom, do you think Harry and Meghan are fast learning what they signed away when they took this Netflix big moolah? And I would say they signed away their credibility and their dignity.
Well, that's our view, but it's not theirs. They need the money, and they need it now more than ever because they've got no other source of income. So I think they're just stuck with the devil now. They're tied to Netflix, they're tied to their book, and all the criticism they're going to take means nothing because that's the only way they can earn their money.
All right, let's talk about the latest bombshell claims from Tom Bower, the royal biographer who's never shy about stirring the pot. According to Bower, Meghan Markle wasn't just swept off her feet by Prince Harry's royal title. Instead, she was apparently money-obsessed and, get this, disappointed when she realised Harry didn't actually have a mountain of cash waiting for her. Now that's a twist worthy of a Hollywood script. So what's really going on behind the scenes?
Very interesting, actually. I don't know if you saw this from Tina Brown, who was, of course, one of the last people to see Diana before her death. She said the Duke and the Duchess are poor by Hollywood standards. This was at the Henley Literary Festival, and she branded the couple D-list celebrities and said in Montecito their $14 million mansion is a humble cottage compared to what these other people have. And she added, at some point, it might be more than a new house she's looking for. Elon Musk is still single. That's all I have to say. So do you agree with Tina Brown that there is a huge financial motivation behind what Meghan does? Obviously, you've written this book, Revenge, about her so recently, of course.
Well, of course, that has always been her motive. She's money obsessed and always has been. And that is why she married Prince Harry. Her great surprise and disappointment was to discover that Prince Harry had very little money. She imagined he'd be worth hundreds of millions, if not billions. And she's having to make up for it now. And that's why I think, I think Tina is a great journalist, and perhaps she has inside information. I don't see how the Sussexes can give up both the Netflix and the book deal. They won't be living in a Montecito cottage. They'll be more likely living somewhere in downtown LA, in a little hovel. That's their problem. They're stuck now. But, you know, the truth is about them that the only way I can conceive of Harry getting out of it now is if Charles would bail him out. Somehow he'd have to pay off Netflix, he'd have to pay off Random House's publishers. It would cost millions of dollars or pounds. But Harry might give that to him in return for a signed agreement never to knock the royal family again. That's the only thing I can imagine would actually end this confrontation. But I can't see Meghan signing that deal. Meghan has got no interest whatsoever in giving way, being silent. She wants the battle. She wants to rubbish the royal family and go on to bigger things. So I think that this battle is going to go on. Hostilities have resumed, I think.
Bower claims that when Meghan first met Harry, she expected a prince-level bank account. But the reality, Harry's personal fortune was, let's say, not quite what she'd imagined. And it didn't stop there. Once they stepped back from royal duties and moved to the US, their dreams of making it big started to wobble. Let's be honest, Harry and Meghan weren't exactly shy about cashing in on their royal connections. Who could forget the Netflix mega deal and that headline-grabbing Penguin Random House book contract? But here's where Bower pulls back the curtain. He says those deals, as big as they sounded, are really the couple's lifeline right now. They're stuck with the devil, relying almost entirely on these high-profile projects to fund their luxury lifestyle.
And that's the problem, isn't it, Tom? You know, they have signed this deal with the Hollywood devil, in this case, Netflix, and Netflix is now demanding its pound of flesh. They're not happy with this woke children's TV series that Meghan wanted to do and some sort of twee documentary that Harry was planning about the Invictus Games. They want the dirt on the royal family, don't they, Tom?
Well, I think they've got the dirt. I mean, they've been filming now for more than a year. And I'm sure that everything that Harry spewed out to the ghostwriter for the book, he gave Netflix to, plus a lot more. And so they've got it in the can, so to speak. The only question now is whether they're prepared to dump it. I don't see why they should. I mean, this is their investment, and it'll come brilliantly at the end of The Crown. Netflix is in battle with all the other streaming services. They want to now push their own product. They don't care, rightly so. if the Sussexes suddenly decide that they're cowards. And I don't think Meghan wants to pull out. I think that is a source of friction, if it's happening, between the two, Harry and Meghan. And Netflix aren't going to give way. Why on earth should they? They make fools of themselves. They've got a great series, I should think, by now.
But there's more. Bauer suggests their American dream might actually be running out of steam. He claims the couple's efforts to branch out in Hollywood haven't exactly gone to plan. Instead of raking in new fortunes, Meghan and Harry are struggling to launch fresh ventures. In Bauer's words, they've run out of fuel to profit from their royal exit, and new income streams have proved elusive.
But Tom, can't we finally now just accept that Harry is the ultimate Hollywood hypocrite? Because you know what he's like about any other media organisation that writes the tiniest thing against him or Meghan or his mother, his late mother, that he's not happy about. Well, I'm sorry, Netflix are actually focusing the entire next series of The Crown on the breakdown in the marriage between Diana and Charles. There's actually an entire episode which recreates part of the Panorama interview between Diana and Martin Bashir that Prince William has worked so hard to get the BBC to consign to history. Yet Harry is prepared to take money from this organisation. So can't we just ignore Harry anytime he moans about the media now? Because it's meaningless, surely.
Well, you're absolutely right, Dan, but do remember that extraordinary interview he did on top of a bus driving around LA with Corbyn. And he actually said that the Netflix series has got some things right. He actually damned his own family by endorsing the Netflix Crown. And as I said in my book, he watched the Netflix series in the home of a multi-billionaire and kept on saying, well, they've got that right, that bit's wrong, but that bit's right. So he is completely disloyal. He's burnt his bridges as far as that's concerned. And you know, in the end, my book is pretty critical of them both. I haven't heard a peep from them yet.
No, true. And I guess, though, £73 million maybe does buy a degree of silence, or as you say, even support. But Tom, look, I wanted to speak about the last time you were here because you went viral around the world for this critique of the Duchess of Sussex.
So, where does that leave the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? According to Bauer, things are getting tight. So tight, he says they're having to scrounge to keep up with the lifestyle they want. That's right. The couple that once seemed unstoppable is now, if you believe Bauer, scrambling to keep the money flowing. It's a sensational claim. But here's the thing. Behind all the glitz, the interviews and those high-profile deals, Bauer says Meghan and Harry need the money now more than ever. Their fortune isn't bottomless, and the spotlight they once used to fuel their new lives might be dimming just when they need it most.
Emotional back, Dan? I mean, when she allegedly touched a tear, or was it an act of a Hollywood actress thinking I better do a gesture to suggest a tear? The only person that Meghan, I think, at the moment is crying for is for herself, certainly not for the Queen.
Tom, that was obviously in reference to the fact that she had seemingly shed a tear at the Queen's funeral. But I just wonder if you feel vindicated for those comments now, after this video has now been unearthed. And there it is, Tom. The tear was coming from her left eye.
What great researchers you've got, Dan. I mean, the point about Meghan is she's a wonderful delisted actress. She knows exactly when to turn it on. And I didn't believe a gesture she made there. And her smile and her somber looks, it was all for the cameras. She's gone back to Montecito, prepared for war. And it's going to be a very bloody autumn, winter, and spring too, as far as she's concerned. She needs the money. She needs the fame. She's looking to the future, and the people in the past, they're always, in the Meghan's world, damned and buried. That's the way she works.
Whether you buy into Bauer's dramatic take or not, one thing's clear. The royal soap opera is far from over. Meghan and Harry's finances and their next move are still very much up for grabs. So what do you think? Is Tom Bauer hitting the mark, or is this just another chapter in the never-ending saga? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more royal revelations. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.